Good evening, everyone. So, I apologize if you hear an echo on my end because for some reason I couldn't get OBS to work in the thing, and so I'm using a different camera. And I could not lower the volume enough. I can hear everything now. Hold on, that's going to drive me nuts. Let me see if I can fix this. Testing, testing. Nope. That's going to drive me up the wall. See, I have a volume thing on my end, but yeah, if I mess with that, it's gonna. Uh, Sorry, guys. Give me just a second here. I don't know how I'm gonna do this because I wanted to show off the dice. All right. If y'all can hear me, let me know if you can hear that echo or not. Because I hear it through my phone on my end, but I want to make sure y'all don't hear it as well. Come on. I can select the camera. Oh, I didn't even realize I could do. Oh, geez. Hang on. It wants to be funky like that. Uh, Marhawk, it's actually supposed to be a tiefling. So, okay. Of course, Rumble Studio's doing the thing where it's not wanting to show the comments, so I'm having to flip back and forth between the actual live video feed and all that. Jesus. Rumble Studio, get yourself together. All right. All right. I see that you just commented, Michael. Now, the issue I'm having is I couldn't get OBS to work with how I would usually do it. So I'm streaming through my phone for the dice, but I can't lower the volume enough to where I don't hear myself. So, but can you hear the echo coming through, or no? Oh, you can just barely hear the echo. Okay, then we may just have to make do with it for now. All right, so let me pull up what we are going to be doing today. We're going to be making another character, and this one, he has a new class that he put in the. It's a free supplement called Radioactive Boogaloo. Let me change that size really quick. Fit page. Well, that's not it. Okay, I guess that's going to be what it is. And this Radioactive Boogaloo has a class. Oh, what did I just see? Hey, Jack, good to see ya. I enjoyed your interview you did with Joel there for a bit. Sorry I didn't stay for the whole thing. And again, to my listeners, if you hear an echo, I apologize. I can't get my phone volume down low enough. Is there a way to turn it off speaker? Guess not. All right, so let me go to that new class. All right, and the new class is called Mecha Ronin, which is basically a robot samurai. And it gave me the idea of what if. Hold on, I'm going to change something else here now, real quick. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So, okay, that kind of fixes that a little bit. There, now you can actually see the dice. Okay, and so when I was talking about the Becker Ronin with Matthew, the creator of Barrows Borderlands, was talking about how it gave me the idea of robot Afro Samurai, and we all loved the idea. And I decided, what if I made a Mecha Ronin that was just wandering the wastelands of Barrows and Borderlands? And so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I already have the character sheet here. I really hate that I can't turn that volume off. Yeah, because I keep hearing myself in my own ears. There's got to be a way. No, because if I do that, that's going to turn it off. I have a really dumb idea. Where did I put them is the question. Everyone, give me just a second. Okay. So my really dumb idea is I have a set of headphones here. I'm going to plug them into my headphone jack of my phone. See if that does anything. Testing, testing, testing. And it worked. Now I don't hear my echo anymore. I am a genius. All right. Now that little annoyance is taken care of, because that was really, really bothering me that it was doing that. So, as you can see, I actually named my Mecha Ronin Afro, which stands for, let me get up here, it's Aggressive Frontline Robotic Operative. So, he is the Aggressive Frontline Robotic Operative, aka Afro. Because, again, I had Afro Samurai on the brain, which is like one of my most favorite, I guess you could call it an anime. Would you call, actually, question of the day, would you call Afro Samurai an anime show? I would actually say yes, it is. And so what we're going to do is we're now going to roll our D6s. And the reason I have 4 this time instead of the usual 3d6, because this is going to be more solo play, because the idea I have for this character is it's going to be just him. No one else in the party, just a solo wandering robot Mecha Ronin. And for the Mecha Ronin class, it does say you do have to be of the robot race for it, which is also a new thing that he put in Radioactive Boogaloo, is the robot race option, which I think you can add to any of the other classes as well. It doesn't really specify for sure, but that's my guess, is that I assume that you would be able to do just so as well. All right. So it's going to be 4d6, drop the lowest, and yeah, and I'm just going to write them down first, all 7 stats actually, because I forgot this one has also radiation resistance for one of its stats. And I'm going to write them all down, and then we will apply them as such. All right, so that's a 6, 5, and a 1. So that's going to be 17 for the first one. So starting off strong here. I got a little notepad that I'm writing my stuff down on. So 17 for the first number. And then if it fixes, let it readjust itself. That next number is 16 because we dropped that 3. All right. Oh, this is going to be our one low one currently so far. That's a 10 total. Okay. All right. So 6, a 9, 11 for that one. Okay. There we go. Another 17. And Philomancer, I don't know if you're chat. I saw you were looking forward to watching this. So if you're in the chat, it's good to have you here. I know Jack is in the chat. Michael's in the chat. I think I saw Marhawk, who's a buddy I've gamed with a few times on Lord Mattias' servers, also in the chat as well. And so glad you all could stop by and make it. I know this was kind of a last minute thing, but I wanted to get this out of the way before the work week starts for me because it's technically my Sunday before my Monday, which is Tuesday for me. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was 5 so far. So I got to do 2 more rolls. All right. So okay. So either way, that's a 14 total for that one. For stat number 6. Gabba gabba hey. And then the final 7th one, because again, there is 7 one because it has radiation resistance for a stat. And then that is a 16. All right. So you do get a lot better stats when you do 4d6, drop the lowest. But heck, sometimes though it is fun just doing the 3d6 to see what you get. That's how I ended up with my my Green Skull Fighter Man Gong, who has a 4 intelligence currently because I rolled 4 for his intelligence when I was doing 3d6 down the line. All right, so let me pull up the. Nope, that's not it. We're going to go back here, and we need to go to the robot sheet. Just got to remember what page that's on, which I don't remember. Only robots. Okay, I thought it said what page it was going to be on. So let's scroll back up. Oh no, I remember now. It was under the Mecha Ronin. Here we go. Robots as race. Yep, robots of the Borderlands come in a variety of shapes and sizes depending on their purpose. Most robots were built before the Starfall by the megacorp known as Dynaco. Though it is possible to have been made by a small company, Enthusiasm, or the Tech Priests, or New Alexandria. It is said that the Mecha Dojo once had the ability to craft new robots, but have since lost the secrets along with their fallen AI Daimyo. Daimyo? If you're seeing this, Matt, I don't know how you pronounce that AI name right there. Robots do not gain benefits from healing magic unless by a tech priest or worshiper of Dynaco. Instead, they self-repair for 2 HP per night of rest. They are able to open most Dynaco facilities. Table mark C, found later in this document. Okay. Downside is I take twice as much damage if the attack is electrical base, and I can't swim unless I get waterproofed, which costs a lot. So now the reason I went down to the hold on, double checking some stuff here. Oh, my boy Patty, I see you in the chat now. Well, let me get to you really quick. Huh. Not there you okay, I didn't see the thing for a second there. Okay. There we go. So the reason I scrolled all the way down to the robots as race option first is because I was talking about this earlier with Matthew, because I ran a lot of stuff by him before I decided to start making this, because I had a bunch of questions and I wanted to make sure that before I made my character that, hey, is doing this okay and all that. I have a secondary cheap webcam. See, the funny part is I have there's a webcam. I have this webcam right here that I'm pointing at is what's showing me is the one that is. I lost my train of thought for a second there. Yeah, it is a secondary camera that plugs into my computer. My laptop itself has a webcam, but just didn't want to work for some reason. So I couldn't so I couldn't switch it around for some reason. And then again, I'm having to use my phone to show the dice. And I don't need a second webcam or a tripod, Michael. So I hope you're not being. So I hope you're not being serious. Okay, and so back to my original point was, and yeah, Patty, I'm using my cell phone to show off the dice because I couldn't get OBS to work for some reason. It wouldn't let me stream OBS through Rumble, even though I had it all set up and everything. And expect a map view of what? Hold on, I'm double checking a bunch of stuff because my phone's blowing up. Don't need any of those right now. Okay. And so one of the things that we actually discussed, because I thought of this question, is because this is an old school D&D game, if you have to roll for, like, in the tribute of a stat check, you have to roll under. So the question is, a beer can. See, the thing with Rumble Studio is I don't know if it will allow multiple cameras through one computer. I think I tried it once before and I couldn't get it to work. So I don't know if it would actually work or not. Which I had to do, which if you're interested. Yeah, you'll have to show me, because I thought I did it because I thought it was start virtual cam, and then you select the OBS option, and that's what I was doing, but it wouldn't pop up for some reason. It just wouldn't work. Because I didn't want to do the direct RTMP thing. I was just trying to whoop, have it pick it up like it was a camera option. Because it shows up as a camera option, so it should have popped up, and it didn't. And I ended up getting rid of Prism because, one, Prism was super slow on my computer, and two, Prism itself actually said that I didn't have all the right software qualifications for its program, so it wasn't going to be bad, so it wasn't going to work properly on my computer anyways. So that's why I ended up having to get rid of Prism, and I just stuck with OBS. Even though it's weird because it says I have Prism on here still, even though I know I uninstalled everything Prism related. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. So, yes, so basically it is established that the highest your stat can go is 18. And so it doesn't make any sense because, hold on, let me zoom in on this really quick here so y'all can see a little better. Here, let me just hit fit with. As you get, so, because I was going to go with the combat, because you choose your robot model for what you want. And I wanted to choose, because I'm making a mecha rodent, and I'm going to do combat. And he gets +2 to strength, +1 to dex. Now, it would make sense to put a 17 in my strength if the highest I can go up to is 18. So that means one of these 16s I have is going to go into strength, and the other 17 is going to go into dex. So I'm going to have an 18 strength and an 18 dex after I apply all this stuff. So let me go ahead and just do that right now. Let's go to my character sheet. And as you can see, the image I got over here, I just typed in Robot Ronin on Grok, and it gave me that actually pretty badass looking thing. I thought about going like full on like robot, like Afro robot, like they did on the show, but I figured that might be a little too on the nose. So okay, so he gets +2 his strength, so I'm going to get rid of one of those 16s. to put in strength, so that'll be an 18 strength. I'll do the same with his dexterity, but instead I'll get rid of one of the 17s, so now he has 18 dexterity. And then let me see what else is going on here. Just checking up in on the chat and stuff. So next we get now we have everything else: Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma, Radiation. I think it would make sense that his intelligence is a 17. To me, I don't know, just because robot, I figured like a robot would be super smart. And plus, the way I did it was so how I usually will do, how I've decided to start doing a lot of age stuff on my thing is I will usually roll like 2d30s because I do have own 30-sided dice, and then I'll add those together and see if that age is appropriate enough for the character. But what I did for him was I wanted this guy to like be like he's been like in this wasteland for a while, and he's kind of like waking up after such a long period of time. So I added so I added on, so I already gave him like a century, and then I rolled the 2d30s, and it only rolled up a total of 6, which I'm like, that's fine. So he's going to be like 106 years old. Okay, so 17 intelligence. Let's give him a 16 in the Let's do that 16 in the Constitution, so that way he's not too hard to beat. Wisdom. I think I'm gonna make the Charisma the 14, and then the Wisdom the 11. Just because I think it's kind of more like the idea where he just usually is going to be a guy. He's going to be a bot that would be just he just charges in the battle most times, more than like, I should probably think more on this first kind of deal. So that's the 11, the 14, and then the 10 will be his radiation resistance, which I don't know if robots get like any advantage actual to that or not. I would assume I'll have to ask Matthew at some point if robots actually get some sort of radiation resistance or not to their stuff. Oh, hold on, you guys can't even see it. So because the 7 hat is resistance, because it's all about like how are you able to like stand up to the wasteland. So let's look at some of the other stuff that the robot gets. The robot has a natural AC of 5, because again, this is like this is 0 edition D&D type stuff. So of course, we'll just go ahead and put that 5 down there for now, and then when we start going through all the modifiers and stuff, we will adjust it as it goes. So I'm guessing that his movement is going to be more normal then, so that'll be like 40 feet usually. He's not going to have a caster level because he's not a spellcaster. Although I would be interested if you could play like a robot magic user. Like you're a robot installed with some sort of magic abilities and stuff. That would be interesting to see if that is a thing or not. Double checking some stuff here. Okay. All right, so it looks like the Rebel Studio on my laptop is keeping up with the chat currently, so that's good. All right, going back to my radioactive boogaloo. Immune to mutation. Okay, so of course robots can't be mutated because I mean they're not human, and I can install Dynaco laser arms. So I can basically go like Afro Samurai robot and just have lasers. I'm a fire my laser, Gah! That kind of deal. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see what the Mecha Ronin has. So. All right. So his prime requisite is dexterity. That'll be nice for when I'm going around because I know at an 18 that gives you like I think 18 gives you like oh, you know what? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot the other 2 stats set because he introduced when in the radioactive boogaloo the comeliness and luck stats. So I need to roll for those really quick. I didn't even think about that. So I'll just do the same 46. All right, let's see here. I'm a robot. Oh, okay. So that's only a. You know what? I think that'll be perfect for like a 7 comeliness. Seems fitting for a robot, honestly. So I will put. He has a 7 comeliness. So yeah, and then his luck is going to be. Oh wow, he's actually a lot lucky. He's got a 17 in luck. So it'll be interesting to see if he if that's to help find stuff or find trouble. We'll see how that plays out. I'll have to talk to Matthew about that. See how a 17 luck would play out. Okay, back to the radioactive boogaloo. So all I did see. So the idea is I am not going to start Afro at level 1. I dig it since I am only playing as just him for this solo playthrough. Uh, Matthew did give me permission to start him up at a higher level. So what I think I'm going to do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start him off at level 3 because I don't want to go because I feel like he needs to kind of earn his way to get to that higher 4 stuff. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it would make sense to start him off at level 4 and then bam, he's suddenly when he gets to the next level, he's got suddenly more stuff. I think he kind of needs to earn his way up a little bit. So I'm going to start him off at level 3. All right. And so this means his hit dice, he's got 3d6. He already starts with 6 full health. And then I just got to roll 2d6 to see what else he gets. So hopefully he gets some good. Okay, that's actually not bad. 10 more hit points. So he's got 16 of 16 is what he's going to have altogether to start with. That's actually not bad. I think level 3 will be perfect to have him start off with. And then his saving throw at level 3 is 15, and his Thaco is at 17. Hold on, let me double check that. Saving throw 15, Thaco 17. Okay. And then to those who aren't familiar, Thaco stands for 2-hit armor class 0. So basically, you're rolling your die, and then you're subtracting your Thaco total from what you roll, and that tells you what armor class you hit. Some actually, most classes in Barrows Borderlands start at 19. But I think only the magic user actually starts at a straight 20 Thaco, just because magic users are squishy boys. And my magic user I've been playing as in the current game going on has not been doing so hot. All right, so that's 16, 17, 18, 19. Can you guys even see this? I may be too far down. Yeah, I'm too far down. I need to scroll up a little bit to show you all, so you all can see my Thaco stuff. Yep, 19. That hold up. Why I am so bad at math. It's 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. I did not know how to count there for a split second for some reason. I'll go ahead and save so I have that figured out. Yeah, I'm assuming that even though this robot has a natural AC of 5, I'm assuming can't really wear armor. That information is unknown to me currently. It does not say if they can or can't. I'm going to go with that they can't. Okay, he also gets a +2 to breath saving throws and to death saving throws. +2. +2. Because the idea is you have to get equal or over on your saving throws in order to succeed. And let me double check to make sure that Oh yeah, y'all see that. Yep, Thaco. And then he does have a fist, which I need to mark that down. I'll mark his fist damage at level 3. It's 1 to 6, so it's 1d6. I don't know why level 5. I think that should say 2 to 8. I think that's a mistype, unless I'm absolutely wrong, because that should be 3 to 9, 2 to 12, 3 to 12. I don't understand that. I think some of these are off. I don't quite figure out how, unless it's like a +1 or something like that. Doesn't make any sense to me on that. Double check the chat here. Witchcraft can't do that. Thac can't do. We can't do Thaco. We started the whole campaign to get rid of that. Oh, Patty, you're crazy. And then I'm guessing that is Thaco in Spanish. All right, let's think here, because I lost my train of thought. Mass! Oh, Michael, you crazy. Okay. Okay, let me get his fist damage down. Give a good robot fisting. Fist. 1 through 6. I need a drink of water. I'm getting a little thirsty. What is going on? Oh, I just saw that you followed me, Philomancer. Thank you for subscribing. Or following, I guess, in the Rumble term. All right. Okay, so that is, I believe, everything I needed from this. Yep, I gave him the +2 to strength, the +1 to dex, so because those are both at 18. Immune to mutation, but I can. Okay, infravision. Infravision from up to 60 feet. Okay, I need to put that down for sure, so I remember that. See if I can. Will it let me? No, it won't let. For some reason, the dictionary thing doesn't like to work on this thing for some reason, because I can't do that. It drives me nuts. Oh well. Okay. I'll just go ahead and put down immune to mutation too. That'd be cool if you could play like a cyborg in this, and that way, like you're a robot, but you still get like some mutant stuff. So like you have one arm that's a robot, and the other arm that's like an octopus tentacle or something like that. That would be kind of fun. Man, I really wish I could. We're accidentally derailing Ultra. Oh, I always derail myself all the time, Patty. It's nothing new usually. I just had my thought and I just lost it. Let's go. Okay, Radioactive Boogaloo. Yeah, that's another new class that plays. You could be you could be a pure strain human robot slayer. So while I can only be a mecha ronin that's going out, only pure strain humans can go out and slay robots apparently. And then, so apparently there's things in this game called Neo Gods, and I get a lot more XP if I kill one of them. I have a connection with my blade, which is a katana. Which looking up katanas in like old school D&D, basically, like katana will have the same stats as a longsword in this game. And I can either choose fighting with a katana. They may either gain an attack rate of 2 to 1. So I guess that is, I believe that 2 to 1 means every other round I get to attack twice. I will have to double check with Matthew on that. Humans are apparently my mortal enemy. +1 to attacks against humans, and they can sense the presence of any within 60 feet of themselves. Okay, this is interesting. I didn't realize. I don't remember seeing the mortal enemy thing there before. And then honorable death. If I roll a nat 20 on the 2 hits, I roll a D100, and I give whoever I'm attacking an honorable death of some sort. I can cut down the middle, finish them, flesh wound, blinding strike, run through them, an empowered strike, or a steady strike. Which this is more like, which I would have done I would have done it from 0 to I would have done this one as 91, now 1 to 100, because technically a real D100 roll, it would be triple zeros, not double zeros. So this is basically you're rolling 2d10 instead of an actual D100 percentile dice thing. But I believe I'm going to put some of this stuff down because I'm pretty sure I need to remember that. +1 to attacks against humans, and they can sense any within 1,060 feet of themselves. Okay. I don't really need to worry about that Neo God thing right now. That's something I can remember. I need to ask Matthew about the 2-to-1 thing. Make sure I have that down correctly. And I definitely will make sure I need to save up the money to waterproof myself at some point. Which will be interesting because I think I will have to find a Dynaco facility, which may or may not be run by humans. We'll see. And I think that is it for that. That I need at the moment. So what we're going to now is we are going to admit back to the actual main men and mutants. And we need to go down to the actual character creation. Oh yeah, I can see it on my phone too, if you all can see it on your screen, and I didn't think about that as well. So let's see here. Creating character on page 24. Okay, blank sheet of paper. Well, we did 46, dropped the lowest reachability score. Chose the race, pick class, write down special abilities, hit points, alignments that matches your character's attitude. See, okay, because I'm still definitely wanting to play this character like he is like I'm still, because again, this is basically based on Afro Samurai, and I would say Afro Samurai is as neutral as they come. So his alignment is neutrality. Because Afro Samurai did not give a fuck about who you are or what you did. If you messed with him, he messed you up back. So this is a very neutral Mecha Ronin. He should go by Maddie. Are you talking about the robot Patty? Or are you asking about me? Oh God, I just got that joke, dude. You Maddie Patty. Jesus, Patty, you're horrible. All right. So there's the alignments. Begins with the clothes in their back. I wouldn't say as a robot he really wore clothes. I imagine kind of like how I have. Oh, let me scroll back up to that picture really quick that I had Grok make of him. He basically, I imagine it more like the armor is like a part of him as well. Like part of his robot body is the Ronin armor. So I'm not gonna say that he's got clothes on. It's like, or at least his robot body looks like he has clothes on him. All right. So let's go back. Okay, but we'll do it's 3 to 18 pieces of silver. So we need a roll for those. That's a lot better. I usually don't do that well on my silver rolls, but that is 14 pieces of silver. Oh, that's copper, not silver. All right. Now, when I did ask Matthew about if robots would even need to like eat and drink, and he said no. But I'm still curious. I do like the idea that hmm, I still like the idea that he may like would he have actually rations in the question? You know what? I'll leave it up to chance. On a 1 to 3, he doesn't have rations. 4 to 6, he does. Okay, so he does have the rations on him for some reason. Maybe he found them on a body or something. And they're iron rations, so these things last a long fucking time. So iron rations, and I always put them down by days instead of by like days instead of weeks because it's easier to be like, hey, because one ration lasts an entire day because basically a ration is like 3 meals. So and then that's the wrong thing. Let's go back here and a weapon. Okay, so now we need to go down to the weapons because I need to put down the longsword stats, but instead of a longsword, I'm flavoring that he has a katana. He just walks around with that. So scroll, 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 scroll. Uh, sword long. Here we go. What? Oh, they have a. Oh, I guess it's. I guess I can like attack with a long sword in a certain range. Can be two handed. Yep, of course, can be two handed for more damage. Excuse me. So it's either one handed deals 1 to 8 points of damage, or two handed 1 to 10 points of damage. All right. So let's see here. Let's 1 to 8 or 1 to 10. Sorry if it looks like I'm like trying to get close to the screen on here. I'm just because I gotta reach a little bit from where I'm sitting at my desk, because otherwise, if I pull the computer close to me, I'd be like right in your faces. Oh, what did I just get? Oh, some other stuff. And War God, I don't know when you're supposed to be going live at, so if you see this and I actually am interrupting your time, I apologize. Because I almost forgot that you stream like Mondays and I think Fridays or Saturdays, I think too. I don't remember. I do like okay, Michael, hold on. I do like the idea of oil and AA batteries as rations. Basically it's oh, what was the show? There was a show or a movie or something where they actually carried. Oh, I'm thinking the robot movie where they actually like drank oil and all that jazz. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of the robot movie that had yeah, that had Robert Williams in, and I forget who played the actual. Well, Patty, that would be interesting because technically he's a mortal enemy of the humans. So I don't. So I guess it depends on if he absolutely wants to like fight them or not. Just depends on what they do. Again, I'm playing him as true neutral, basically, as almost true neutral. Oh, that's not what I want. My internet's slow and I'm behind on the vid. Yeah, I'm actually very. I don't know. I don't. I'm not gonna say anything about my internet because I don't want to jinx myself. So I'm not gonna say anything about my internet right now. Okay, going back to. Okay, so because I can there is a range on the longsword for some reason. I don't know if that's like the range where I have to be in to attack. Because I don't understand. Because I mean, you wouldn't throw a longsword because that's yeah. It goes short, medium, long. So hold on, I need to put you back a little bit. And then so short 15, so short at 10, long at 15. No, medium at 15, long at 20. I don't think it has a rate of fire because, yeah, it doesn't have a rate of fire because it's a melee weapon. Yeah, because only the missile weapons have the penalties on the 2-hit things. So I don't understand why there's a range thing on the swords. I'll have to ask Matthew about that too. I don't think he's on Rumble currently, so I think he only has a YouTube. But we need to get him on Rumble. Ewan McGregor. Okay, but now I have to look this up. I gotta figure out who was a cast of robots. Holy crap! If I that came out in 2005, the Robots movie is 20 years old. Holy shit! That is crazy. Wow, hour and a half. I don't remember it being that long. Yes, you're right. It was Ewan McGregor playing Rodney Copperbottom, which I think was the main character. Yep, Rodney Copperbottom by Ewan McGregor. That doesn't even sound like Obi-Wan Kenobi, though, when you think about it, though. Oh, wow. That's just crazy to think about. Okay, so let's finish up here. Where am I now? That's my weapon. I do need to do. I've almost forgot about all my all my extra stuff for my. Was it here or was it? Oh no, it's back up here. All the modifiers for my ability scores is what I need to do next. All right, so strength modifier. These are going to be good. So my park was a dex at a 15 to 18. I get 10% extra. Ex- I get I get a 10% plus 10% to and all my experience I earn when I'm playing solo with this dude. Oh, speaking of that, I need to put down what uh his XP is. So at third level, he's 4,501 experience, and he needs to get to 9,001 to get to level 4. Okay, there we go. Strength modifier and 18 plus 2 to hit and plus 3 to damage. Oh yeah, this guy's gonna be awesome. Go back here. Let me look at the chat really quick. I mean, but the problem is, the problem is also with the mech, you cannot be from your sword, because if you end up losing your sword, then have to commit robot seppuku. I do not want to be. I do not want to last. I do want. No, was it not? Was it Last Ronin? 47 Ronin? It's that one movie that Keanu Reeves is in, where spoiler alert, they end up all having to commit suicide at the end of it. I don't want to do that with my robot. All right. So that was my strength modifier, dexterity modifier. Okay, I get, if I do ever do ranged attacks, it's a plus 3 to hit, plus 2 to damage. I get to add more onto my breast saves. I get another plus to my breast save. So that will actually make my breast saves up to a plus 3. And I like to add anything from that deals with this onto here, so that way I know. And then I get a plus 2 to my defense modifier. So I actually go from a 5 to a 3 in my armor class. Which, starting off at a level 3, is not bad. I don't think I can go any lower than that. So this will be interesting to see how this works. Okay, Constitution. Oh nope. You know what? I should have done this earlier. I didn't think about that because for Constitution score modifiers, you add it old school. You add it to every dice. So what it actually is, let me do the math here. I gotta write this down. This is gonna drive me nuts because I did this wrong now. Crap it. Well, let me type it all down first. What is my modifiers for Constitution? +3 HP adjustment, and then +3 to my radiation death saves. My starting HP, because again, Matthew said I could start max HP first level and then roll for the other levels. So starting max would have been 9. And then I rolled a total of 10. But that was on 2 dice. So that's actually +4, 6. That's actually 16 total. So I actually have a starting HP of 25. Which makes that a whole hell of a lot better. Double checking stuff here. Okay. Okay, so that actually, I feel a lot better about that now than I did earlier. Okay, so going back to modifiers, intelligence. This with a 17 intelligence, I know 7 more languages. So I will have to get with Matthew about what languages are out there that my robot can learn. Does Barrows Borderlands use effective? Patty, I don't know what effective character level means. What does that mean? Let me do this next thing, and I'll make sure to get back to that once you tell me what that means, because I've never heard of effective character level before. Okay, next is the... okay, that's wisdom. So sorcery saves. That's on a wisdom, I think. Wisdom sorcery saves, which I think I only have... Yep, it's only an 11. So, yeah, I don't have any extra bonus to sorcery saves. But that's fine. Not too worried about that. And then my 14 charisma. No, that's 14 charisma. 0. No modifiers from a reaction. But I'm allowed 5 if that's the case. 0 to reaction loyalty, but 5 retainers if I have them. Oh, and I forgot I have these other modifiers, so I need to move. I'll move some of this stuff up here, so I get +1 to hit versus humans. So I'll put that. Well, I'll just leave those both there in this regard. ECL was level adjustments for races that just the player character. Like draft level 3. They were still level 1, but they had to gain enough XP to hit level 3 before being actually. As far as I know, Patty, everyone starts a level of racer class. No one uses out unless specified. When I made Green Screen Man Gong, I was told that this was basically a level 4. They were at a level 4 game because some of the guys haven't played for a while, so they let me go ahead and create a level 4 character. And I don't think let me go ahead and just pull up Gong's stuff really quick. Let you all take a look at that. Because he's a level 4, but I don't think he's as... Again, yeah, this was just 3D6 down the line when I made him. He wasn't as good, but I mean, again, this is the level 4 intelligence guy that I rolled up. All right, so let's fit the page. Or not fit page, fit width. Yeah, well, actually, it's all right. He's but he like 13 strength, dexterity, 13 constitution, and then like right there that lovely 4 intelligence. That hold on. There we go. Now y'all can see it. Oh, did I go too far up? Yeah, I did. It's a little bit laggy on when I'm trying to watch on the other end to make sure everything's looking. Yeah, his 4 intelligence that he got when I rolled all his stats, and then 8, 8, 8. And then of course I gave him a battle axe just because. And of course he always wins a 2-hand. He's got nothing else. And I think what was the armor I gave him? Yeah, he's got a chain shirt for his armor. And then yeah, we fought a Hydra, and I was one I like me and one of the players dealt the fishing blows in it, and I ripped out its heart and took a scale to collect. And the fighters at the current levels, I get to attack twice every other round, which is why I'm trying to figure out if that 2-to-1 thing I talked about for the Mecha means it gets to attack twice every other round, or is it attack twice per round, or I could choose to attack and then hold a parry. Because if I hold a parry, then my instead of actually on here, uh, yeah, gain a parry, which allows them to increase their AC by 2 until the beginning of the next round. So I can basically go from AC 3 to AC 1 if I wanted to. So, but basically to answer your question, Patty, it's just everyone starts at level 1 unless something crazy specific happens. And again, I talked to a lot of this stuff about with Matthew beforehand, so he said I can go ahead and bring him up to an upper level, and I just think 3 is just the kind of the right amount of place to do it. And yeah, having those wait, did I read that right? Hold on, I think I messed up on something. Give me a second. Constitution 16. Fuck, I messed that up. Damn it. I looked at the 18, and it's actually my Constitution is a 16, so it's actually +1/+1. So I need to do all that math again. Give me a second, guys. Okay. So actually, that 6 would have been a 7, and then the 10 plus 2 would have been a 12. Let me double check to make sure I did my math right. The math ain't mathin'. Yeah, 16 +1/+1. So I need to. Okay. Yeah, so this actually becomes a +3. So that's a 12. So yeah, it's actually 19, not 25. I'm a dingus. I mean, still, it's okay, I guess. I'm not too worried about it. Go ahead and save. Let me check. That was all right. Go back to Man Mutants. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Crap! I gotta determine the. You know what? I'm not gonna bother trying to open it up. I'm gonna look at the main book because, of course, I got all the stuff here. I'm going to get the book out of here to look up see if he actually does have psychic potential or not. Because he can, but then I have to, I think, roll on a D100 to do that. Wait. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and roll it for now, and then if I find out later from Matthew that no, robots can't have psionics, then I will retcon that later. Because I'm going to be I will either be going live or pre-recording all these solo sessions I'll be doing. These will all be recorded in some way or another. Okay, so psychic class. Let's get to all my stats here because I know that's going to take a big part in this. Or wild psionics. Firstly, psionics is only available to any individual with a soul and at least one or more abilities scored 15, either intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. Intelligence, wisdom. Okay, so I do have a 15. I have a 17 intelligence. And now I have. Okay, now I'm going to need a D100, which I actually do have. I got these from I think Michael a while back. It's a Nerdcognito dice bag, and included in here is a bunch of it's like classic style. Hold on, I'll show them off for the camera here. It's a bunch of classic style tabletop dice. There's actually a D30 and a D16 that I threw in there for myself just to have, so that way they're all different colors. But I'm going to roll a D100 because it says in the book. Hold on here. Let me get back to it. And I add plus. It says add 4 for every point of intelligence above 15. So I'm 2 above 15, so that means we're going to add 8. And if I get above 100, then I have wild psionics. Nope, that's a 55 total. So that means I don't have any psionic abilities. That's fine. Didn't really want to have to deal with much of else besides that anyways. Oh, what in the world? Well, okay. Don't know why I just did that. You're a ginger droid, Patty. Uh, you kill me, Patty. Uh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do robots have soul? Out there, I like to think robots have some sort of soul or humanity to them, because I mean, all the programming they have, they basically have it's a programmed soul in the sense if you're thinking about it logically, I would say. And then, okay, so no psionics. I don't think I'm going to get anything else at the moment. Oh, I just see Ironcaster is currently on YouTube Live right now. So let's see what else we have here. I do need to do a background. That's another thing I need to do. So basically, usually the background works is like. Let me get. Actually, no, that's the radioactive boogaloo. I need this. Scroll down. Okay. Basically, the birth sign will be when it's like their birthday, which is like when they were made, we'll say. And that is a. Let me make sure if I can even. If y'all can even see that or not. I felt like that's way too far away now. I thought it was up close. Let me. There we go. That's better. Yep. 16 on the die. Oh, hold on. Come on. There you go. 16 on the die. So that gives me he is an is it was born under the Aether Raven. Missile fired hit. I don't like that one. So I'm going to roll that again. And that time it was a 10. And a 10 gives me Aether Heart. Magical healing. Emotion connection. Okay. I get a +1 to magical heal, but I don't. The problem is, unless there's a tech priest involved, it doesn't do anything. Oh, I wish Matt was in this chat. He could answer some of this stuff. You know what? I'm going to do one more roll. Third time's a charm. Because I want something that fits him. That's what I want. I want something that'll fit him. A 19. Okay, he doesn't have firearms, though. He has a sword. I don't like this. These birth signs are not doing. You know what? I'm going to pick it. Screw it. I like these first three right here. So I'm going to do instead is I'm going to roll d6. And on a 1 and 2, it's that first. It's the increase in armor class. On the 3 to 4, it's the increase in melee damage. On the 4 to 5, on a 5 to 6, it's the unarmed damage. It will get an increase on. I'm just going to do that instead because nothing else really on here makes that much sense for this character I'm creating. And that is a 5. So he gets a plus. So it's a +1 to hit with a strike. No, +1 to unarmed damage. So if he punches someone, this metal fist, it hurts a little more. All right, so let's get here. I'll go ahead and close the gong out because we don't need gong anymore right now. And then what was the burst sign for the unarmed is the Terra Bear. So let me write that down. Burst sign, Terra Bear, +1 unarmed damage, or DMG. Even though DMG would actually stand for Dungeon Master Guide, but not a thing. And no Dungeon Masters. We're all Game Masters here, or the Barrow Masters. I'm the BM of the world. I need to run that by Matthew. We're Barrow Masters. We're BMs. Okay, let's think here. Well, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so that was, and then, well, I mean, he's a robot. He would have some other skills, I think. So now it's time to roll that D100 again, and we'll see what skills he may end up getting. 2 and okay, so that's an 82 total. So he gets to. I get to choose 2 from sets 1 and 2, and then I pick 1 from set 3. So I need to figure out like how if these skills actually do anything because I feel like I roll them and I write them down, but I don't know if they actually do anything is the question. So I need to actually figure out if these things actually like provide benefits of some sort. These skills offer role-playing depths and may provide occasional advantages in the field. They do not grant automatic success, but character trained in a relevant background may attempt things others cannot. Okay. So let's say for the 2 in common, he was a footman. And then for his second one from that set, I don't know what he would be. Maybe at one point he was the domestic servant before he became like this weapon of destruction. I kind of like that idea. Maybe at one point he was like a servant bot before he was reprogrammed. Okay, then 2. It says 82. 2 from set 2 as well. So middling. Let's see what we got here. Boop. Let's see. Well, we're definitely going to put soldier down. That's definitely one. And then his second one is going to be, let's see. No. He's not a gunsmith. I don't think he'd be a smith armorer. Soldier. I kind of like I kind of like the idea of giving him butcher, like he knows how to butcher people up. But then I pick just one from the third set, which I think duelist would be best because in Afro Samurai there was a lot of one-on-one duels. Because again, it also says for the Mecha they also are programmed with their own codes of honor in this game as well. Because let me look, we'll check here. Uh, yeah, they have their own. They maintain the code of the samurai known as Neo-Shido, the honor code of the Mecha Samurai. Yeah, but they lose their katana, they must retrieve it, not being able to get an XP until they do. If it is lost forever, they're expected to commit seppuku! Alright, and I think that's actually going to be it. Let me double check. I believe that's everything. I mean, I just got a couple things I need to ask in regards to that mecha run and stuff. Oh, hold on a second, it just froze up. Of course, it wants to be like this. Yeah, Patty. I don't know if you ever saw my past video I had before, where I made a halfling cleric with the first time I made a character with this system. I'm just doing this Mecha Ronin character creation video for the upcoming series I'm doing. Which the thumbnail itself, I don't think I showed it here on Rumble, but the thumbnail I made for it, and I attached it with all the Rumble links, so I'm sharing it on Discord. It's going to be called "Memory of Metal and Dust," and it's going to be a solo series I'm doing. And it's actually going to be the solo series is going to be playing alongside the current gameplay because I'm in the server for Barrows and Borderlands. Yep, you have fun with Jeremy's game. Tell Ironcaster I said hi too. Tell him I may be in there after this because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. I made some things I got to keep in touch, and then I will be done, I think, and ready to go for when I do start. Which I don't know when I'm actually going to start doing this yet. I may end up doing like once a week is what I'm probably going to try to do, which is going to be interesting because it is a lot of one-to-one. They do one-to-one time. So I'll need to talk to Matthew about that for how I want to keep up, how I'm going to be able to keep up with everything. So we'll just see how that goes. Okay, let me double check here now that that's working. Name your character, roll birth signs, answer the prompts of the following pages to flesh out the backstory. Talk to your referee to make sure your background fits in the world and opens up fun story hooks. Okay, yeah, I do have some stuff. I do have the backstory stuff I need to talk to him about to make sure that he knows about all that. And I'm just double checking everything. Now this will be interesting to see if I'm able. Okay, so if anyone rolls an 8, if there's an 18 intensity of radiation, I'm gonna be gone. So this will be interesting to see how radiation resistance works on robots. Oh, that was something else. I thought I saw something else pop up on my phone for a second. Okay, so that is going to be the character creation of a robot mecha Ronin for Barrows and Borderlands. But as I was explaining before, this is going to be part of a solo series. And this is actually going to be the first time I've ever forayed into doing solo play. Even though I have been listening to a lot of solo play podcasts, I've bought stuff to solo play. I had the chance to be able to do it. But after seeing the Mecha Ronin and getting the Afro Samurai idea, I figured this was a perfect way to start doing this in. So, actually, in the Radioactive Boogaloo book, it does have a rule set for how to play solo, which you roll basically 2d6 to see which area you start in. And actually, I did this off screen. I already have the area where I'm starting picked out because I rolled a 3, and then I rolled a 3 again. So I get to start in this third area up at the top, and I will actually share that with you all here really quick. I just got to stop the screen share, start it again for the. Oh, it's not even open. Hang on a second. Of course, it wants to be funky on me currently. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh. All right, hold on 1 second. It does not want to be kind to me right now. Okay, there it goes. It's up, so now I can actually share it with you properly. Window, share. All right, so this is actually a. Hang on 1 second. I need to do it. Fix it on my thing again. You figure when you do auto that it would automatically just share, but it doesn't. So this is an example of what the actually. Let me see if I can. I wish it doesn't really let me just scroll out automatically. Uh, so if I can, I just need to toggle a little bit more. So let me show. I'm just trying to show you the entirety of what this map looks like. If this one will work, I had to download a brand new PDF editor thing because there's so many of these stupid PDF editors want you to pay for subscription services to be able to get all the extra stuff and to edit and add images and stuff, and I'm just like, it is a load of bullshit. So this is kind of the entirety of what the Barrows Borderlands map looks like, because I believe from what I've been hearing, it's kind of based a lot around the Keep on the Borderlands game. It's just basically post-apocalyptic science fiction mixed with all the fantasy stuff, and Black Powder too, because that's the whole thing. And now if I scale up, because he already knows this. I already gave him the location I'm going to start in, so when I do actually start playing, that's where he's going to be. He's going to start there. And that is actually when I start playing, which again, I don't know when that's going to be yet. But now let's go back to the radioactive boogaloo again, so I can share with you more about how solo play works in this game. Yeah, I bet that's cool, Matt. I bet that's cool, Michael. I'm not that lucky, so yeah, using Borderlands movement rules. So I need to look up. I need to look up again, like how many hexes a day. Let me actually just look that up now, so I have this recorded for how many. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out how many hexes a day my character is able to uh, go across. Introduction. Borderlands movement. Here we go. On 18 here. Okay, so I can go through 3 hexes in a day. Yep, because I'll just be on foot. So I'm going through 3 hexes in a day. But I still have a movement of 40 feet when it comes to, like, in regards to, like, fighting and all that. So get those put away. And I don't think I need those dice for anything else at the moment. I'll just go ahead and leave that open for now just in case. I don't want to close the camera on my phone and then have something crazy happen with it. So at the start of the day, you roll d6 to determine if you're lost, and plan your travel. And I think, crap, I need that open again to see how that lost thing works. You think once you read something, oh, you're good. Nope, there's something else you got to remember. I believe it's on a 1 is usually is when you get lost. Let me double check here. Let me see. It started roll d6 term. If you're lost, you're never lost on the first day and plan your travel, which is in page 20 of this, which I think is a mistype because 20 is a monsters list, not a. Okay, there we go. Depending on the area you're in, a d6 roll depends on if you're lost or if you have an encounter. And then you move your number of hexes. While moving, roll d6 to determine if an encounter takes place. You make that roll 3 times a day, morning, noon, night. If an encounter is to take place, the roll on the following table is to determine what kind of encounter takes place, and then you use the monster book to do so. Set up camp for the night, consume a ration, heal if you're missing any. Roll final encounter check for the day as above. Oh, there's a 60% chance the characters sleeping when the encounter arrives, meaning they're surprised on a 4 and 6 chance. If characters acting as night watch, they are asleep on a 15% chance. If a character is awake, the party's chance of surprise returns to 2 and 6 instead. Interaction. You can either interact with an above encounter or evade it. If it is a wandering monster pilgrim you're trying to invade, you must make an invasion roll. Okay, now I need to see how these invasion rolls work, because I wasn't familiar that there was such a thing before. Because again, this is the 4th book that you can have, and it's all about the borderlands and the wastelands and stuff. Evasion. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's basically a percentage die roll for the most part. Depends on the party size. Depends on the party size you fight against. Number counted by party. I don't know what this number E means on this. Oh, evading, I think. Interesting. I'll have to read. I'll have to read over this a little bit more probably to figure some of this stuff out. All right, and then yep, you just keep repeating and all that. Maybe you'll find there is a solo dungeon generation method, which I really don't want to dungeon delve. I really just want to explore the lands and see what I can come across. If there is a dungeon, I will make sure to mark it down on the map and let Matthew know about it if I come across it. I really don't want to dungeon delve, though. I just want to explore the actual main map. I don't want to dungeon delve that much, honestly. So, okay, that's just some other stuff. Let me look at the dungeon delve stuff here really quick, because I know if I do go down a dungeon, you're basically rolling to see everything that's in that room. How do you even? Is there an actual dungeon roll thing on this? How do you know if you come across a dungeon? Oh, actually, I think that was in the it was actually down in the solo rules about wandering monsters, key text location, pilgrims, or random location. Okay, so how do you know if there's a dungeon? Yeah, let me go back up really quick. I think this is the last thing I want to look over, and then I will be done for session zeroing all this stuff. Basically, I consider session zero just like character creation and just talking about other stuff in regards to these games. So, either solo play. There are many great dungeon generation resources that they're out there that get even more involved that what's then what's given below. That should be then what's given below. But this keeps it simple. It was made for my newer referees and solo players as starter aid. Keep in mind the following procedures: using phone to determine movement. Moving in dungeons is assumed to be 120 feet a turn. Use discretion at a point. You can decide to close off a dungeon level and move on if you only want your dungeon. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right, so I really need to get some paper, some actual like dungeon paper, so I can write out, so I can like draw out these maps. I'll have to get some graph paper at some point. I'm just looking here. Okay, so I can look over this over at some point, but I think that is about the only cost of my labor and soul. Yeah, that's basically how it works. All right, so that is basically everything in regards to session zeroing of this, and I'm going to turn this camera off to where it's now just me. So yeah, that's basically about an hour and a half. I figured that's how long it was going to take to do this. Thank you everyone who joined me to watch this surprise session zero of my upcoming Barrows Borderlands solo campaign I'm about to do. Again, it's going to be called Memory of Memory of Metal and Dust with my Mecha Afro, which again is an acronym for Aggressive Frontline Robotic Operative. That's what it stands for. And so I look forward to playing him and seeing how far his story goes. Hopefully he lasts a good while. So make sure you go say hi to all your friends and stuff, and everyone. You all have a good night and have a great week.